Should you age or smoke your cigars now? Cigar storage, and when is it too much? Also, if I've got a little bit of time, I'll touch on cigar auctions. Are they a trap? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? And of course, whilst I'm explaining all of that to you fine ladies and gents, Partagás Linea Maestra Rito. This will conclude the trio that I've been reviewing. Granted, it took me almost a year. Please accept my apologies, but here we go. Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm KD, and these are my Leaf Diaries. Welcome back to another video review and another chit-chat, which I'm hoping you'll find interesting. I've started, and I'm not going to call it a series, but I've started a conversation from yesterday where I'm jumping from subject to subject, very high level, on few subjects that I've had questions from followers on YouTube, from Instagram followers, from people in my cigar communities in Telegram, WhatsApp and Facebook. And the reason why I'm only going high level and why I'm jumping from subject to subject is to see where I can spike interest. Please don't hesitate to comment and let me know your opinions, and also let me know what you think about what I've said, as well as give me some ideas so we can spark up a conversation and we can make these videos a little bit more interesting. Now, for the cigar at hand, let's get to cutting, lighting and smoking. We have it lit and cut, and this is what we've got working with. Absolutely sensational. This is my favorite Vitola out of the three. So we had the Origin, which I reviewed first. Then I reviewed the Maestro, or Maestro. And this is Rito, for Ritual. The Rito is the largest of the Vitolas. Vitola de Galera Gustosos. It is 52 ring gauge by 168 millimeters, what I like to call a big boy. Smoke time, according to Habanos, around 70 minutes, but of course it will vary from smoker to smoker. Some people might smoke it in 30 minutes, some people might need 2.5 hours to smoke it. It depends on how you smoke. It also depends on whether the cigar is plugged or not. A reason why I'm saying this is because I had a few plugged. Not a lot, but a few. And I've smoked quite a lot of them. I've only had probably about 5 or 6 plugged out of I don't know how many already I've smoked from the Partagás Linea Maestra. This is a premium line I am actually in love with. I'm not a big fan of the Linea de Oro. Although I like them, I'm not a massive fan. I'm not someone that's going to go back and buy boxes from them. Maybe on the launch price, which was about 20 euros per cigar. Yes, you heard me right. 18 to 20 euros per cigar, depending on which Vitola from the Linea de Oro. Then they tripled. The Linea 1935, the only cigar I like is the Leyenda. The Bejiques, no point talking about the Bejiques. This, however, I love all three of them. This is my absolute favorite. The Origen is my second favorite. The Maestro is my third favorite. I'm not going to say least because I like it as well. So my third favorite. Also, it has a 109 cap, Cambeza Tumbada. I mean, honestly, there's not much to complain about. It's not nice when you get a plugged one, but this is why, you know, people have invented things like the trusty Perfect Draw tool. If you don't have one, Google it, Perfect Draw. It's recognizable by the red tip at the back. This is a absolute must in anyone's collection. I don't care. You can do without a cutter, you can do without a lighter, you can't do without one of these. Believe me when I tell you, it saved so many cigars for me. It's difficult to start explaining. Now, before I move forward, I need a pairing. I need something nice. Something I haven't had for quite a while, and what I've chosen tonight is the Bunnahabhain 12. Very, very good Scotch, single malt, Scottish. Can't go wrong. I'm already salivating. Great distillery. If you haven't tried it, what are you doing? Go and get it. Go and try it. You will not be disappointed. Regardless of which Bunnahabhain you tried, they are amazing. They start from something around 30 odd pounds and they go up to 300-400 pounds, depends on how rare of a bottle you manage to find. So, cheers everyone. Sublime. Absolutely sublime. It has a kick to it as well. By the way, I forgot to tell you, it has a proper kick, 46.3% this one. Packed with flavor. Oh wow. The pairing is absolutely out of this world. Bunnahabhain 12 with the Partagás Linea Maestra Rito. In terms of the first third, oaky, woody, cedary, sweet, a little spice, very subtle spice, predominantly a lot of floral and sweet notes. Oh, it's just everything I want from a Cuban cigar. And this is a premium Cuban cigar. So, I mean, absolutely sensational. Now, I've been talking about the Linea Maestra for quite a long time, over a year now. And when I said almost a year, it's actually over a year because the launch was in Sofia in July. When I say a launch, it was supposed to be the global launch, and Habanos did a really nasty trick to Caliman Caribe, which I didn't appreciate, if I have to be honest, as a Bulgarian. Caliman Caribe were supposed to do the launch for Partagás Linea Maestra globally. Instead, a few weeks earlier, they released it at the Amigos de Partagas event, and a few weeks earlier to that, they released it in Russia, which wasn't great, but at the same time, not much you can do about these things. You know, when Cuba Tobacco and Habanos they decide to do something, they just do it. And, you know, you can't make really sense in the last probably 4 years of what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. Great cigar. I've got lots of memories with it. Obviously, as I mentioned, ever since I saw it at launch, this blue band blew me away. Amazing deep blue, contrasting to the, you know, traditional red in Partagás. Partagás is an amazing, amazing lineup of cigars. The launch was absolutely sensational in a very special government building in Bulgaria. It was a really amazing event. After that, I did a lot of reviews, a lot of blog posts I wrote throughout the months and you know, now over a year. And I've smoked a lot of them, and I can't tell you, I've got a special connection to this cigar. It's just amazing. Going back to what I was supposed to speak about, and this is, should you age your cigars or should you smoke them now? It's a controversial subject to a degree, and to a degree it's very polarizing. Hence why I'm hoping that people might take interest. Let's see. Here's my 2 pennies worth, right? Smoke your cigars now. All of them. All of them. By country mile, you should not wait for your cigars. You never know what's going to happen to you. My personal opinion is I smoke my cigars. I had a near-death experience a few years ago, which taught me a very strong lesson about I'm going to have to smoke my cigars, because if I don't smoke my cigars, someone else will enjoy them. Now, I haven't traveled the world and I haven't spent years and a boatload of cash to build my collection, both here and in Bulgaria, just so someone else can smoke my cigars. These were my thoughts as I was lying in bed in hospital after a major operation. So, I smoke my cigars. I also age my cigars, but I have the ability to age my cigars, and this is where I'm going to answer one other question that people have asked me how to age, and I've touched on this in a few other videos. Very simply, you can only age your cigars once you have more of a particular cigar than you're actually smoking from. So, for example, if your daily driver is a Bolivar Belicosos Finos, if it's a La Gloria Cubana Turquinos or Partagás D5, D4, whatever, right? If it's Ramona Leones number 3, doesn't matter what it is, Cohiba Robusto, you know, if you're minted, or rich, kudos. You know, your daily driver might be, or daily cigar might be Cohiba Siglo 6 or even Behige 58. Whatever the case, in order to age that cigar, you have to have more of that cigar than you are smoking on a regular basis. What I mean by that is, if you smoke 2 cigars a day, of which one of those cigars is your daily cigar, consistently you smoke every day, or you smoke any other day, do the math, right? Over 30 days, how many cigars would you smoke from it? And if the answer to that question is, say, 15 cigars, you need about 160, 170 cigars a year from that cigar. So you have if you have less of that cigar, you won't be able to age it. A different way to age is, what I do is I'll get 2 cabinets of Bolivar Belicosos Finos, and I'll forget about them. I'll put them in what I like to call deep freeze, which is usually either a humidor that I very rarely touch, or it's a humidor which is not close to me, which means Bulgaria. And then I continue buying from that cigar so I can smoke. But I don't touch the you know, the boxes that I'm gonna quote unquote age. The amount of times that I've run out of a particular cigar, and I know that I've got 2 cabinets that I've been aging for X amount of years somewhere around me, and they get destroyed. Speechless. But you know, so the way to age is through quantity. There is no other way. Or being extremely disciplined and patient. And if you're that guy, good luck, well done, kudos. I'm not that guy. So this is how I do it. Now, a lot of people say about a lot of cigars, oh, this could do with a bit of age. This is an expression that really gets sometimes my blood boiling. What does that even mean? Can someone explain it to me? If you can, please do. Because I don't understand what, well, it could do with a bit of age means, strictly speaking. Because any cigar could do with a bit of age, regardless of how good it is, right? A cigar can only get better when you age, with a few exceptions, like you know, light body cigars that you go over 5 years and they start declining. Well, 3 years, not 5 in some cases. But semantics. What does that mean? It could do with a bit of age. Yeah, it can. Is it good now? Yeah, well, if it is, enjoy. Why do you have to wait? I don't understand it, but that's just me. Everyone keeps thinking along the lines of, there's only positives if I age my cigars. Well, let me tell you a few negatives, right? With aging comes responsibility. You have to make sure that your cigars are in a particular temperature range. You have to make sure that your cigars are in the particular humidity range. Because if you don't look after them, guess what's going to happen? They are going to dry up and be bone dry and worthless, and you know, you might as well put them in the bin. I'm not going to touch on the rehydration myth or not. It's for another video. If you're interested, let me know in the comments below. But if you are not careful, apart from getting bone dry cigars and putting them in the bin, you could also get mold. You heard me right, mold, not plume. Plume doesn't exist. It's a myth created by retailers who want to sell moldy cigars. A moldy cigar, by the way, and this is another subject that I can touch on in future. If you're interested, let me know in the comments below, is the Diplomatico Leggendario and what's going on with that Italian regional nugget right now regarding mold. Aging is amazing, but aging also has risks. It's not all unicorns and, you know, rainbows. There's also risks associated to aging. Take it as you will. You can smoke them now, you can age them, completely up to you. Age comes at a risk. Or if you don't want to risk it and you've got deep pockets, buy the Partagas, the Habanos Reserva and Gran Reserva programs. You get aged cigars, guaranteed quality. You're gonna pay through the nose, but you know, it is what it is. Also, on the subject of aging, here's another myth. I smoked a cigar pre-revolution, and I smoked a cigar from 1940 whatever, or 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, doesn't matter. Anything above 15 years, in my personal experience, you're gambling. You are gambling, especially above 15 years. absolutely, we're talking about full body cigars. You know, don't come to me with a 40-year-old Hoyo and expect to be amazing. I've had them. In fact, actually, I had a 41-year-old Hoyo for my birthday last year. I tasted sand, dirt, and clean mountain air. Most of them are duds. I don't know if it's the right expression, a dud. It's not really a dud. But basically, some cigars start declining after a prolonged period of aging. Some of you might, tell me, well, Katie, doesn't that mean that they're not properly kept and so on? No, not really. The fermentation process and the aging process can take a cigar up to so far, and at certain point they start to what I like to call decline. Because they start getting muted flavors, they start lose their potency, and so on and so forth. The oils in the leaf, is as much as you can preserve them, they're not eternal, unfortunately, as a lot of retailers and retailers mainly would like you to believe. Don't get me wrong, they're not all bad. I've smoked some mind-gobbling 20, 30, 40-year cigars, but the chances of getting an amazing 40-year-old cigar are very slim. 20 maybe, 25 at a push. I was gifted recently a punch double Corona in Dublin from the year 2000. I was just gifted another punch, and I smoked it. It blew me away. I was just gifted another punch double Corona from the year 2000 from a friend of mine, Jason from Astoria Cigars. If you're watching, thank you very much, sir. I'm keeping it and I'll enjoy it very soon. In fact, I might take it with me in Bulgaria so we can enjoy it together. So this is me on aging. I think I've talked long enough and you get the picture. Now I want to touch a little bit on cigar storage. And what do I mean when I say touch a little bit on cigar storage? Well, all I want to say is, great if you're a collector like me, great if you want to collect your cigars. There's nothing wrong with that, although up until now I've been speaking about aging as something so bad you shouldn't even attempt it or think about it. No, it isn't. It's an amazing process and you get really rewarded with the final result if you actually know what you're doing. Here's the kicker. Many collectors do the mistake of thinking, I can just keep adding to my humidor. Keep stacking those boxes, reshuffle them in a way that I can shove more. When you do that, your air circulation suffers. When your air circulation suffers, you start developing humidity pockets and you start developing dry pockets, especially in big humidors. Walk-in humidors are an exception because they are walk-in, they're massive, they've got loads of room for air circulation. Air circulation is almost as important as humidity and temperature. The reason why is because usually humidity will sit on the bottom of your humidor and on the top shelf you'll get dry areas. So you need some sort of a fan or something to circulate that humidity from down up and move along and make sure that the humidity, if it's 68, if it's 67, 65, 69, it's consistent throughout your storage facility. That might be a desktop humidor, that might be a humidor cabinet, that might be a thermoelectric humidor, that might be a walk-in humidor. Whatever the case might be, you have to make sure that you circulate your humidity properly to make sure that you get the best result for all of the cigars that you've got in your collection, not just a certain pocket that's on 70%, the other pocket on the diagonal on the top is on, 60%. That will ruin your cigars. So you have to be careful. So when you get to a point where you think it's a bit too much and there's no room on the sides of your humidor, I'm talking specifically about a wooden cabinet humidor, which I'm a fan of, and all my cabinets are wooden cedar cabinets, double door, single door cabinets, standing humidors. If I see that there's no space on the back and on the sides of the humidor, I stop putting anything inside that humidor. I go and buy a different one, and I recently bought a second double door humidor. Yes, they're not cheap with all of the duties and blah blah, about £2,000 for the one that I like. But if you think about it, it will store, I don't know, 1,000 cigars. Calculate the amount of money that you're going to spend on 1,000 cigars, and now start thinking about the fact that you might ruin them if you don't look after them properly. Remember what I said earlier on about the aging process, and you know how you can get it wrong and then your investment goes in the toilet. So yeah, think about it. It's very important. Invest in humidors, guys. I can't stress this enough. If you want to collect, if you want to call yourself a collector, you need to invest in good humidors. You need to make sure that you've got good circulation. You need to make sure that your humidity and temperature stays solid so you can get the final product as you intended. Now, I've been talking to you a lot about aging and humidors and all sorts of interesting subjects. What I haven't spoken to you about is how this cigar is actually developing. Slight issue with the wrapper. Here we go. As you can see, not doing good, but hopefully it will self-correct. I've pulled, oh, this is another thing. Here's a pro tip for you. When you get a split like that, just pull the band towards the split and cover it just where the split is finishing so you can smoke through that split. Another way is to apply some saliva on the bottom of the split. That will also humidify the wrapper. It will make it a little bit more resistant to splitting. I don't know what it does. I think it makes it a little bit more elastic when it's wet, and it stops the split and you can smoke through it and you can recover from the cigar. Overall, sensational. Regardless of the split, absolutely amazing. As I move into the second third of the cigar, it deepens the richness of flavors and aromas. It is, to me, mind-blowing. Such a rich, an amazing blend. I cannot tell you, regardless of the obviously construction issues that I've had with this particular one and the construction issues that I've mentioned in previous ones, I still think it's an amazing cigar. Very expensive, don't get me wrong. And mind you, this is an interesting thing as well. Bulgaria usually has cheaper cigars than other places. This particular line is more expensive in Bulgaria than anywhere else. Get this. The Linea Maestra is cheaper in the UK than it is in Bulgaria. Go figure. Every now and again, certain vitolas, for whatever reason, are cheaper in the UK than they are in Bulgaria. Same for the Joyo de Monterrey number 4, the Limitada. But yeah, a lot of dark chocolate, a lot of sweetness now coming out, a lot of burnt caramel, very woody. The spice is now increasing. Floralness is dissipated, but the dark chocolate, that bitter sweetness is sensational, especially in combination with this amazing Bunnahabhain 12. What is also surprising is that a whiskey, a Scotch, as potent as this at 46.3% doesn't overpower it. Full body, absolute sensation. The Partagás Linea Maestra, ladies and gents. I'm probably not going to finish the cigar on camera. As I mentioned, I've smoked quite a few of these, and I can tell you right from the get-go how the cigar is going to develop. Obviously, I couldn't expect the construction issues that I got, but the rest in terms of flavor profile and aromas, it's quite consistent for all three vitolas. I've spoken about the Origen and the Maestro already. For the Rito, until the end of the cigar, it's going to be that dark chocolate, that mousse, that burnt caramel, woodiness, spiciness will increase, and it's just that dark sweetness. In the last third, there's a lot of earthiness as well. The aromas that are coming out are just that woodiness, is oakiness, cedariness. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. The last subject I'm going to talk about is, I don't know if I should mention it. Listen, I won't mention it. It's about an event next year. I don't know if I'm going to go. I'm at the mercy of other people, i.e. whether I'm going to be able to secure an invite or not. If I do, I'll announce it. If I don't, I'll keep it quiet, because I don't want to say that I'm going to do it and then disappoint you guys. So I won't mention anything. What I'm going to mention is the 18th of October again. As I mentioned in my previous videos, Filipopolis Cigar Club in Plovdiv, the 3-4 day event, because everyone's flying into Plovdiv on a Saturday. Everyone collectively, including me, is flying out of Plovdiv directly to London on the Tuesday. So we're going to be there Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Of course, you can travel to Sofia. It's an hour from Sofia, and you can fly any of the days that you want. You can just come for the event and leave. If you can do it, and if you're interested in a cigar escape, not a shopping trip, let me know. Get in contact. Let's have a chat. If it's something that you would be interested, you're more than welcome to come. It's about £80 roughly, depending on the exchange between lev, which is the Bulgarian currency, and pounds. It's about £80 for the invite, and everyone covers their expenses in terms of flights, hotels, and whatever they're going to spend there. So not an expensive trip. The flights were something like £40–50. The hotel is about £50 per evening. It's a great value for something that you probably regret not doing. I'm gonna do a travel vlog, of course. I'm gonna do the event. I'm gonna most probably I'm gonna do a KD Leaf Diaries event. You're gonna see everything on video, but if you've got the opportunity to come with us 18th through the 22nd, or 18th and you can come back on the 19th, completely up to you, do get in touch. And I'll see if there's any invites left there. Flying off the shelves quite easily, because people know the value of those kind of events. People who have already come with me to Bulgaria are buzzing to come back with me. So get in touch and let me know. So as I mentioned, I will suffer through this catastrophe of wrapper split, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see, guys. If you can see, the wrapper is so thin on the premium lines of Habanos. I have no clue how they wrap these cigars with this thin of a wrapper. It's crazy. It's thinner than a piece of A4 paper, maybe a third of the thickness of an A4 paper. Don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, and all that social media good stuff. Leave me a comment below in the video. Let me know if you want to see another review of another cigar. If I have it, I'll obviously review it straight away. If I don't, I'll try and source it and review it for you. Ask me any questions. Feel free to challenge me in the comments about the things that I'm talking about. The beauty of this lifestyle is it's all subjective. What works for me wouldn't work for you. You would disagree with everything I'm saying, or you will agree with some of what I'm saying and disagree with some other things, or you'll completely agree with me, in which case, good on you. You're smart. I'm only joking, of course. All jokes aside, I'll cut the video here. I'll wish you good evening and a great weekend ahead. I hope to see you in the next video. I'm KD. These were my Leaf Diaries, and I'll catch you later, ladies and gents. Have a nice evening. Thank you for watching.